Hey, I'm sitting out here on my patio, and this is not something that I typically do in terms of making a video. I sit out here on the patio on the weekends and have my cigar, cup of coffee, and think, contemplate, plan my next move, what it is I want to do. And my wife said something to me, uh, and I started answering the question, and she wanted me to relay that message to someone. Now, I started thinking about it, calling a person, but I said, well, no, it's not really what I want to do. But I thought about and was hearing what I was saying. I said, man, this probably could help some people, especially our young ladies, our young women out here. So I don't know if this will go anywhere or not, but I may just record this and keep it for myself or let my wife have it or do what she want or whatever. But I do believe some of this could be helpful. So we know this young woman who is, doing a thing in school and uh, wants to have a man in her life uh, to share a life with and build with and everything. Uh, Studying to be a doctor and not really happy uh, with what's going on in her life right now. And we have three girls, my wife and they all say the same thing. Uh, well, the single ones. The men out here is trash these days. Not a whole lot of good feedback from the dating world. So one of the things that she said was that I think I'm gonna start dating up, right? So what you mean dating up? She said in terms of age. So I said, okay, well, age doesn't always mean that you're gonna get wisdom or stability. You have old fools out here, so I don't quite know if dating up is really the answer. But you should tell her that instead of trying to find someone who's necessarily at her level or feeling like that she could nurture and bring along, uh, pay attention, for men that are already walking in that purpose, that have already finished school, already working in the field or in the discipline that they would like, already moving and shaking, already doing their thing. Uh, these young women in their 20s and thinking that they need to find somebody older. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but what I'm saying, that doesn't guarantee that you're going to find maturity. Age is not equal maturity. And I went on and I was trying to just say what I was telling my wife to tell her. Uh, and primarily what I was saying was that you need to have your sights, or if you're going to entertain a man, entertain somebody that's already stable, have their own life together, just doing their own thing, their own place, their own crib, their own car, um, uh, a stable career, or an entrepreneur that's making moves and entertain that. That's not to say that somebody who hasn't got that won't get that. But if you're at a stage in your life where you're, as a young woman, you're set and you're focused on your career and what you're doing, uh, you don't want that imbalance financially. It's just what it is. Now that don't mean that you're trying to use nobody or anything like that. But what I am saying is that when you find a good man who is on his business and doing his thing, You should almost find like a place of refuge. This man should already have his stuff together, right? To the point where uh, he's not leaning on you, and you're not having to direct and coach and nurture him all the time. You know, uh, because that's draining, especially for this particular young lady. Because she, like I said, she's heavily in school, and really has a lot going on, just trying to, you know, keep her grades right and meet all of the demands the school has. And but that applies to any young lady out here to feel like this. These men out here is trash and this and that. All men ain't trash, uh, and there are good men out here. But most of the good men, they are focused on what they're doing, building and bringing to fruition whatever vision it is that they have in their mind and their heart. When you find a good man, you're gonna find an ambitious man. You're gonna find a man that's on his path to whatever it is he set out to do, whatever dream or vision he has. He's actively working on that, and you may not be first priority because he understands that he's building something. And if you're not building nothing, then you know it's not gonna match. You need somebody who is going to be focused and uh, has time and has a willingness to want to, you know, get to know you and spend a lot of time really getting to know you, not just getting to feel you. Um, because what I'm understanding from my uh, the women that I talk to is that that's really all men want out here, and that's not true. Uh, and every young man is not just undisciplined and just going around trying to sleep with every woman he can. Uh, there are some, and there are women like that too. If you really want to be honest, if they really honest about it, it's probably just as much or if not more women who doing their thing how they want to do it. And that's your business. But if you're a young woman and you really focused on having family, children, whatever your life, how you want your life to be, and if your life, you want a man or a husband to be a part of that vision that you have, make sure that you're not just looking at the aesthetics. Now, of course, you want to be attractive. I'm not saying you know it don't mean nothing. Of course, you want to be attracted to whoever it is that you're investing your time into. But um, what should also be attractive is a man's discipline, uh, his morals, his character, his faith. Does he pray? He might can pay your way through something, but can he pray your way through something? Um, is he humble? Can he apologize? Can he say I was wrong? I'm sorry. Uh, can he pay attention to what makes you happy? And likewise, you know, if you're out there and you're dating and entertaining, settling down, you need to be looking at, okay, what is this man doing with his life? How can I be an asset? How can I help him in what he's doing, and not to take away from what I'm doing, but I understand that this man is grooving. This man is moving and shaking. How can I be an asset to that while we get to know each other? You know, so um, because at the end of the day, once you get older, once you get older, like me and my wife are, and you sit back and you think about what opportunities you may have missed versus the things that you're doing right. You don't want to have waste a lot of time with somebody that wasn't productive and that you didn't learn anything from. I think every even things that don't go the way we would like them to go is still an opportunity to learn something. But I just think that for the most part, what we going into it looking for, we have to recalibrate our priorities, and and that's what I would say, uh, to any young lady, yeah, it's nice to be attracted to somebody, but look for somebody who's stable in their thoughts, who stands on something. And I don't mean you always gotta agree, but that means they need to be standing on something. They need to be committed to something in the way that they're gonna move and the way that they live their life or the way they make their money and the way they save, the way they prepare, if they invest. All of these things, if they can't articulate and share with you where they're gonna be at, notice I said not where they hope to be, I said where they're gonna be at in the upcoming years, then that's a man without a vision. You already got to see it before you can make it happen. So, uh, and that's the type of leadership that a woman don't mind supporting and being submissive to. Uh, and probably most importantly, that man need to love God. No ifs and buts about it, because that's going to be the only thing to keep him in check. Men, we just we need something higher than ourselves. We need to be tapped into to something higher than ourselves and have a reverence and a fear for something greater than man. Most men that have been through the struggles and been through the storms of life and had to get it out the mud. It's some underlying faith. There's something there that man holds on to, and that he believes uh, that he has that connection to God. And even if he's not getting it all right, he stays before God with it, and he prays, and and he understands, what the goal is and what the assignment is. So yeah, you young women out there, young ladies out there, just because a guy's older, you got a lot of old fools out here. A lot of old fools out here. Uh, so don't look at age. Don't look at an older man as being a mature, stable man. Look at his works. Look at what he's doing with his life. Look at what he does consistently. What he shuns consistently. Um, how he treats his mother. You don't want a mama's boy, but you want a man that has respect for his mother. A lot of young men in that age group are dealing with a lot of different issues, and that's even before you put into account what society is pumping to this generation. Uh, so if you're not mentally strong, you'll fall for anything. You got to have something within yourself that keeps you to the point where you're just not gonna go for anything. So yeah, that's like I said. I probably never put this out because first of all, I don't have social media, so I won't be putting nothing nowhere. I won't be putting nothing nowhere. But uh, I do counsel and talk to people, and I impart, but the experiences that I've had and what I've been able to overcome, and I think I have some value to share. But with this particular reason I'm doing this is just because I don't want no young person out there to make the mistake of uh, thinking age uh, uh, means maturity. You got a lot of young people that are more mature than these older people, so it's not that at all. Uh, but yeah, look for those things. I'm gonna get out of here. I'm just rambling on, but yeah, take that into consideration.